Hey guys, I'm Nikki.
And I'm John, and today we're going to show you 10 easy couple poses for your next photo shoot.
So you don't have to do this one anymore. All right, so before we get into the 10 poses and we're gonna talk through them, we just wanna give you 3 easy tips. So the first one is to think triangles. That can sound kind of weird, but basically in all these poses, you wanna see how many triangles you can make. For some reason, it's super pleasing to the eye. So you wanna make you kind of consider this like a triangle, right? Or your leg comes up and that's a triangle. So try to incorporate those into it.
Step number 2 is to just always be moving. A lot of times you just kind of freeze up. You just want to be changing your position. You want to move your arm around, pocket, both pockets, the different angles.
Yeah. And then the third one is don't be afraid to try something that's uncomfortable or that feels kind of weird. If you have the idea in your mind, just try it. Honestly, sometimes those turn out to be the best photos.
Most of the time, the ones that feel ridiculous are the best ones.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into our poses. So the first one we're gonna do is just sit together and look at each other. Super simple. I'm gonna sit inside of his legs. And then again, we're thinking triangles here. So I'm probably gonna lift up my leg to create a triangle. And then when I'm looking back at him to create another triangle, I'm gonna put my hands here because triangle.
This is some of the movement that we're talking about, even small movements, hand on the thigh, hand on the stomach, hand over the shoulder. Just different things. So the second pose, this is gonna be a small dip, very easy. You're gonna start by grabbing your partner's leg. Her arms are gonna go around your neck, and you're just very lightly gonna lean back and just kind of stare at each other.
Yeah, and one tip that we have here is typically when there's separation between your faces, it can look, I don't know, like not as romantic, not as close. So one thing we say is like kind of try to touch foreheads or like be awkwardly close so that it looks better. And then again, if you have something, you can always like lift up your hands, you know, you can like pull it closer, whatever you want to do. Our next one is a sitting one. We definitely wanted to incorporate both sitting and standing because just a lot of standing or a lot of sitting can be redundant. So this one, we're gonna sit down again, and he's going to sit with a V, and then I'm gonna put my legs over his legs. So it looks like this, and then again, heads together, right, to make it look better. But super easy, keep moving, right, so you can look at the camera, you can look at each other, you can look off into nowhere, whatever you want to do.
Pose number 4 is just gonna be a little kiss on the neck. Basically gonna face each other. You're gonna have your back arched, your neck, back, so your hair's flowing down. I like to keep my head behind hers. Obviously she's the focal point, so when I come down for the kiss, lean back.
Basically with this one, as the female part, you just want to make sure that your head is kept back, because if he's kissing your neck and you're like this, it's super awkward looking. Like this one can already feel awkward when you're doing it, so make sure that you keep like an open body position so other people don't feel your awkwardness. Pose number 5 is kind of an add-on that you can do with any photo, but it's just to look out at the scenery. So one of our favorite ones to do is literally just to hold hands and turn around and just look. That's it. And remember to like incorporate that movement and again the triangles. So if we're turned around here, it's typically putting 1 foot back or 1 foot forward, or even just having it bent, and then your arm, this is a triangle right here. So just making sure that you're incorporating all of this. It can be whatever you want, sitting, standing, just make sure that you're kind of gazing out, and this works really well if you're in a really beautiful place and not staring at a wall.
This also works really well if one person stares off at a point and the other is looking at the partner. It also helps if you both pick a point that you're looking at, so you both kind of look like you're gazing in the same direction.
Or to look opposite directions, because sometimes you want that too, and we'll show that here on the screen as well, that if you look in opposite directions, it kind of gives a different effect of gazing in the same one.
Number 6 is airplane arms. This is always a fun one, and it's kind of easy because you can do so many different variations. Basically, the airplane arms is just you're holding her arms out. You can be in any different way. You can be down here, you can be up, I can be on the left or the right, kind of coming out from the side.
And one thing I'll say is don't straighten both your arms. So John and I really can't, but if we like straighten both of our arms, this is weird. Don't do this. Make sure you kind of just have it natural. It's kind of just like flowing, moving around, because especially if you have your camera on an interval timer or you have somebody taking more shots, they're going to be able to get one where your arms are in a good position, look at each other, look out, whatever you want to do. So the seventh one is, again, kind of an add-on that you can do for any photo, but this one is super easy if you just want to stand there. It's to just touch your foreheads together. Not like that, but if you're looking at each other, like if we're standing here, I can just put my arms around him, touch foreheads. Done. Good. Again, with the movement in the triangle, so if we're touching foreheads here, I can be lifting my arm here. I can have one of my arms out. He's already creating a triangle here, so keep that in mind. It's just whatever you can do while you're touching foreheads.
So number 8, this is like a laughing photo, which for us is actually kind of some of our favorite ones, because during the photo shoot, we try not to be too serious. We try to have fun. All of the laughing in the photos, we try not to be like scripted. We try to be candid. So we always have the camera running so that when we get a picture of one of us laughing, or if I say something funny, if one of us does something stupid, we can capture that, because normally those like authentic laughing pictures are better than just kind of like ha 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 ha.
This is going to be another sitting one, so you have more options. So we're both going to sit down here. I personally kind of like to do like my legs like this if I'm not sitting in between, and then yeah, however he wants to do it as well. And this one, we just call it like kiss the shoulder, because he's literally going to kiss my shoulder here. And this one is like more serious and romantic, so we do this one at bridal shoots or like more serious photo shoots that are going on, but that's all it is. And then typically, like, you can smile at the camera or look at the camera, but what we found that looks the best is he's gonna kiss me and I'm gonna look at him.
Okay, so number 10 is to show off the background. Obviously, we are going to be a little bit out of focus for this one, and the importance for this shoot is to get space in between us. So obviously, if you're really close together, and we're pretty far away from the camera right now, but the closer you are together, the less you're going to see between us. So it's important to keep like a good 6 to 8 inches of space between you when the camera's close, so that you can get a good visual in between you as we're blurred.
Yeah, and one of the things about this is it's a more technical one, because you need to be able to blur out us and then focus on the background, although a lot of iPhone cameras apparently can now do that, which is great. So you would need somebody else probably shooting you to do this, but it looks really cool, as you can see on the screen.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you found it helpful.
And also, we do have a blog and it covers some of these more in depth, so I'll go ahead and link that below. We have a few different posing posts on there, so go ahead